Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this great big earth underneath the Astro Dome. It's Geaux Stros. Today we have game two after a very disappointing game one against the homeless A's. We have game two. Hopefully the Astros can come back and win the next three. I had them actually, in my mind, sweeping this series, but of course, there has been an ongoing issue over the past couple of years with the Astros playing down or playing up or playing equal to whoever they're playing. So if they play a so-so team, they often play so-so. If they play a difficult team, they often play at a much higher level. If they play a team like the A's, then they just kind of like, they play down. So I don't quite understand that kind of mentality coming out and with an idea of who you're playing and then just matching that energy. I can understand that it happens, but since it consistently happens with the Astros, it shows that there's a problem. Sergio, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Oh man, I have done so much stuff since yesterday. Yesterday and today I've been busy, 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 but I feel good because I've gotten a lot of stuff done. And I'm very, very happy about that. I've got a good layout on my computer today. I've got my fan going because it's a little warmer outside today, but I got my new fridge installed. I've got all my food in there. I cleaned up my space in there in the other room, and I put up a little table. Was able to do a little cooking this morning. I had some eggs, some chicken, and spinach. I I bought a big thing of magnesium. I've been having some issues with leg cramps recently. That's related to my health situation. So I bought this huge bottle of magnesium at Costco yesterday, and I was able to utilize that this morning. I took a bunch of those. I've got a nice little cup of coffee here, and I've got some hot water ready to go, stored away for in just a few minutes. I'll be making smells good. A fresh cup of coffee in my pour over. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got some coffee ready to go right here. I copped I copped a couple of extra creamers from the convenience store when I got some coffee a couple of days ago. I need to buy some more. I don't always use creamer. Right now you can see maybe I'm drinking black. Can you see that? Barely. It's almost finished. I've been drinking black coffee all morning. For those of you who don't know, the antioxidants that you get from black coffee are really, really good. If anyone tries to argue with you about whether coffee is healthy or not, the answer is it is, but it depends. If you put any type of animal fat milk in it, then it binds to the coffee and it makes it practically impossible for your body to get the antioxidant benefit. So if you want to get the benefits of coffee, you have to drink it black. And that's just the truth of it. You could add a little sugar if you wanted to. You can also add things like coconut butter. You can add other types of milk like almond milk or coconut milk. What you can add anything like that, but if you add any animal milk, it will bind to it, and you can't get the benefit from it. Of course, you could add a little sugar to it. That's not going to cause you to not get the antioxidant benefit, but of course, sugar, whether or not you think that's acceptable for you, that's up to you. But I drink a lot of coffee black nowadays just because I want the effect. It's not because I think it tastes the best. Sometimes it tastes wonderful, but sometimes I also want creamer. Sergio says it's hot and humid here. Sunny Galveston. I imagine, man. I can imagine. Sergio says, talking about playing down to your competition, the New York Stankies lost their third straight shutout in 3 days. That is great. Good news to start off my stream. The Stankies getting their butts spankies, right? They're actually showing some highlights of Mauricio Dubon in high school. Can you believe that? Mauricio Dubon in high school. That's hilarious. Wow. Pretty cool. Already got 10 people following along. The game is scheduled to start in about, there he is, Doobie. Should be starting in about 5 minutes or so, 5 or 6 minutes. Assuming it starts on time. The Astros lineup for today, as you see, it's on the screen there. It's going to be Pena, Paredes, and Altuve, followed by Myers, Walker, and, I'm sorry, Diaz, Walker, and Myers. Diaz is catching today. Cam Smith, Dubon, and Cooper Hummel batting ninth. By the way, Paredes is on third base. He is in the game. He's not DHing. Charles says, Payback Day, Stros, let's go. Yes, I want Payback Series. I want the Astros to return the favor threefold against these homeless A's. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to make fun of the team in that way because I know the fans have been through a lot. I lost my Oilers from Houston, so I know how it feels. First pitch to Pena is about to come. We're going to get it a little early, maybe. Here it comes. Fouled off. I thought the first pitch was due at 10 minutes after the hour, but maybe it was 5 minutes after the hour. But that's okay. We're ready to go. I got you covered. 0-1 to Pena after that foul ball. J.P. Sears on the mound. Here comes the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Change up, low and away. Sergio says 10 people watching, 7 likes. Please take a moment to hit that like button. Thank you, Sergio. That's a good reminder, guys. Thank you. Already 11 likes. All right. Excellent. Good. Let's jack it up. Jack it up like a 10-ton jack. Here's a pitch. Way up high, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Flash. Will the Astros have a big first inning? Still waiting to see it. Haven't seen it all season. A really big first inning. Let's do it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and outside. Nice slow pitch there. That looked like slow motion. 84 miles an hour. It felt like 64. It just was like... 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pena. Here comes the next pitch from Sears. Grounds out and foul. That was another change up. Slowly developing change up. Hey, Mark. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. I was busy earlier, too. Today I've been busy. Yesterday I was busy all day. Got a lot of stuff done. Very happy about that. Here's the next pitch. Outside and high. All right, another change-up. 3 straight really slow change-ups around 84 to 85 miles an hour. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Pena, you got this. You got this. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Too far inside. Misses by a couple of inches. All right. Pena with a great at-bat there, coming back after getting a couple of strikes. Sears hasn't been walking many guys, but he walks a guy right there. He walks the guy. American League pitches per plate appearance. Number 1 guy right at the plate right there. Isak Paredes fouls it away. The sinker, 92 miles an hour. Strike 1. 14 people following along. I got a dozen likes. I appreciate that. You see on the middle of the screen, guys, it says, I have a 500 subs goal by the end of June. Here's the next pitch. A little high, ball 1. What in the world? Why can't I get that off the screen? I can't leave that on the screen very long. I'm getting, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Paredes. Another high pitch, ball 2, 2-1. What I've discovered is that if I let the preview on the screen, if I give you guys a preview or a highlight that's more than 5 seconds long, or that's 5 seconds or more long, then I get a copyright claim. A copyright claim is I can keep it up, but the content belongs to MLB, which means that in the future, if I ever get monetized, then if I make money on that video, they'll get the money, even though it's just that one little clip, and I can't accept that, so I have to make these clips as short as possible. Here's the 2-2, or 2-1 rather. Now it's 2-2. Right on that outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Paredes. So Pena and Paredes making Sears throw a lot of pitches here. Here comes the... No, he goes over to first, and Pena is back. I guess he thought he might be running there. Two balls, 2 strikes to Isak the ball. Here's the pitch. No, he goes over to first again. Wow, that was close. Pena was leaning. It looked like he was really going to go there. Woo, that was close. They almost got him. Pena barely got back. Here's the 2-2 to Paredes. See if Pena's going to go this time. Yeah, Pena is off to the races, but Pena goes after it. I'm sorry, Paredes goes after it. Fouls it off. Pena will jog back to first. Astros still currently 4.5 games ahead of the Mariners, 5.5 in front of the Rangers thanks to their losses. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. Wow. Pena was thinking about stealing there. He started to run, then went back. The count is full. 2 full counts in a row. To the flash, and then he socked the ball. Well, something going on here. Okay. His pitch comm fell off. His pitch comm fell off his ear. The umpire saw it and called timeout so he could put it back on. Here comes the full count pitch. Long delay. Finally throws it. That's up and in. 2 walks. How about that? How about that? That brings up Jose Altuve. The crowd gives the obligatory boos. But that's all good because Altuve is the man. Runners on first and second. We can start blowing this open. Let's do it. Let's shut this crowd up. This is a very rude crowd, Altuve. You know what to do about that. Let's give them a reason to shut up. Here's the pitch. He grounds it foul down the third baseline. That was a nice pitch to be swinging at. He just got the bat a little over it. That was actually a high pitch. And he swung over it. 15 home runs given up by Sears this season. 9 of them in this park. One of those went to... Well, no. One of the A's home runs went to Altuve, but not Sears. Way high. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Altuve. Sears is now at 17 pitches with this next delivery. 20 people following, 15 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you like the live stream. Here comes the next pitch. Whoa, almost hit him on the inside. 94-mile-per-hour pitch. Altuve did get hit yesterday on the arm. He hit a home run in the first inning. And then in the second at bat, pitcher hit him. That's in there, low and inside for strike 2. Just barely got that inside on the sinker. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every hitter really kind of working the count here. 19th pitch for Sears coming. One away. So Altuve flies out. We have one out. Runner still on first and second. Let's make something happen. Mark says Seinfeld sent a pitcher, not in the Yankees office anymore. Sergio says the Astros made a trade today to bring in Wes Clark from the Milwaukee Brewers. He's a first baseman from the Brewers AAA team. He also plays catcher. Is he a lefty? I hope he's a lefty. Hasn't been confirmed, but I think we gave up Shea Whitcomb for him. Not confirmed yet. If he's a good lefty, I'm okay with it. Diaz is at the plate, takes that first pitch high for ball one. Nice take on the changeup. Good job on the Astros making Sears work in this first inning, even though we haven't got any runs yet, just wearing him down. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Diaz. That's right in the zone, opposite field. Might be deep enough for a tag. Yeah, Pena bluffs. He doesn't go. Back-to-back flyouts to right field. 2 away. So 2 walks, 2 flyouts. Now it's all up to Christian Walker. Everything is now on the shoulders of Christian Walker. Come on, Walker. Be Christian Homer right now. Christian Homer. Let's get 3 runs in the first. Come on, man. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe you can try. First pitch from Sears on the way. Walker takes it way outside and high. Ball 1. Mark says he's righty. Okay, Sergio says he's a lefty that bats on the right side of the plate. Okay, so throwing, he's a lefty. But fielding, I mean batting, he's a righty. I see. Isn't Myers like that? Isn't Myers kind of like that? I might be wrong. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Walker. A little high and inside. Good take. 2 balls and no strikes. That was a good call by the ump. Could have called it a strike, but that would have been a really difficult strike. 2-0. Check it out, guys. 24 pitches now for Sears with this next delivery. Here comes the toss. Little low. Ball 3. Another changeup misses the zone. Sears isn't missing by too much, but his changeup is not getting in the zone, and the Astros aren't swinging at it. 3 balls and no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Inside. Ball 4. Oh, he caught a strike. Are you kidding me? That was literally a ball. I called it a ball because it was obviously a ball. Obviously. It was ball 4. I'm serious. It was ball 4, guys. I'm not just saying that because I'm an Astros fan. That was seriously ball 4, but it's 3-1 now. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Rocketed down the third baseline, but foul. Man, Walker put some lightning on that one. That was another changeup. Walker came around too fast. Finally, a changeup in the zone. Maybe that's why J.P. Sears doesn't want to put that changeup anywhere in the zone, because the Astros will crush it. 3-2 is the count. Another full count. Here comes the toss. Way inside. That's ball 4. Good grief. That's just like the one the umpire called a strike earlier. Literally the same pitch. This ump, man, I kid you what. 3 walks this inning. The Astros don't have a single hit, and that's no outs. And guess who's up to bat? Mr. Baseball himself. Myers of the Jake. Myers of the Jake. Little chit-chat. Umpire says, okay, that's enough, guys. Let's get back to the game. Okay. Yeah, guys, I'm right. I was right about Jake Myers. Fielding Fielding, he's lefty, but at the plate, he's a righty. You see that? I remembered correctly. My brain's not gone yet. Here comes the first pitch to Myers. Outside, ball one. Sears having to toss a lot of pitches. Still going. Still going. Bases loaded. Bases juiced. With 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes. Come on, Myers. Let's do it. Let's bring them home. High fastball. Ball 2. Make him pitch. Snake Myers. That's right. Jake the Snake. Jake the Rake. He ain't no fake. Let's make ourselves a Grand Slam cake. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. 87 mile per hour changeup. Don't see that changeup sneak in there very often. Not from Sears this inning. 2 balls and 1 strike. 30 pitches this inning from Sears. And the Astros still don't have a run. Come on, Jake. Give us something to believe in. There's a 2-1. He fouls that one off on the right side. 4-seam fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers losing 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th of the Royals. That's awesome. Thanks for the update, Sergio. All right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Myers. Hey, is that a hit? Is that going to be down? Yes, it is. It's up the middle. It just barely gets under the glove. 2 runs are going to score. Jake the Snake with the rake to center field. Big grin on his face. Heck yes. 2-0 Stros. Pena and Beretta score. Astros 2-0 in the first inning. Can you believe it? And the top of the first. Just barely under that glove. Look at that. Just barely got through. Heck yes. Astros all day long. In the first inning, we have twice as many runs as yesterday. The whole game. That brings up Cam Smith with runners on the corners, guys. Runners on the corners. Here's the first toss to Smith. Oh, he goes after that changeup, little high and outside. Can't make contact, strike 1. Man, he has a mini 4-game hit streak going on right now. Let's see if he can extend that to 5 right here. Some more runs. Let's keep going. More runs, more runs. Let's get greedy. Same spot on that pitch, but it was a fastball. He fouls it off for strike 2. Myers was on the steal. He was on the take. Jake was on the take for second base, but he has to go back. Way to go, Jake, indeed. 1 hit now for the Astros. 2 runs. So many walks. 3 walks, 1 hit. 0-2 is the count to Smith. Come on, drive him in. Drive him in. Crank it up, Cam. That's high. Ball 2. Going to be a long day for J.P. Sears. 36th pitch. He's got 3 dozen pitches with this one right here. Here comes the toss. That's in the bottom of the zone. Is that a strike? I think that was strike 3. Did they call it a ball? They threw Jake Myers out at second base. So Myers will be called out. But that pitch that they threw to Cam Smith looked like a strike. It seems that the umpire called it a ball, however. So Myers gets thrown out. So instead of Cam Smith getting a strikeout and not batting next inning, it looks like Myers will be the 3rd out from stealing, and Cam Smith will be up for another chance. Cam Smith, you're very lucky, my friend. You are a very lucky young'un. All right. Well, we do get a couple of runs. We didn't blow up the first inning, but I'm very, very happy for the Astros to get 2 runs in the first inning. That feels good, especially against the A's. Very happy about that. Let me turn the base runners off. All right, 2-0. How about that? How about them apples? Is that the kind of tree that you would climb to get an apple from? You like them apples? Sergio says, fear of the unknown. What are we going to get from Alexander today? His ERA is crazy. Yeah, his ERA looks nuts. I have no idea what to expect. But, you know, if a guy comes into a game just for like maybe 1/3 of an inning and gives up a few runs and then they pull him out, that can make his ERA go to the moon. He just finished his warm-up tosses. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Verlander whenever he has more hair on his face. His overall appearance and everything kind of looks like that. If he gives us classic Verlander style, I'm okay with that. He is facing Lawrence Butler. First pitch is on the way, right in there. 91-mile-per-hour sinker. That's a good start. 0-1. Hey, Fox at bat. Go Astros indeed. Good to have you back. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A changeup. Nice movement on that pitch. 0-2. Whoops. That preview was up there for too long. I got to pay more attention. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Butler. 26 people following along. Thank you so much for being here, guys. 22 likes. I appreciate that. We're already on the way to 30. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The changeup missing. You know, the game yesterday had almost 1,000 views on my live stream. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Outside. Full count. So the count starts off 0-2, and then Butler takes 3 balls. That's similar to how Pena started off. Swing and a miss. But he doesn't walk him. Alexander gets the strikeout on an 80-mile-per-hour changeup, whereas J.P. Sears couldn't get his changeup fully in the zone. Alexander did. Astros lineup, or I guess you could say defensive lineup, Hummel left field, Myers center field, Smith right field. Next batter's at the plate, 94 right in the middle of the plate to Jacob Wilson. Mr. Wilson. Next pitch on the way, too far inside, 93 sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Man, he's batting .362 through 68 games, second leading batting average in MLB. Just missed the bottom of the zone. Could have been called a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Wilson fouls that one off the plate. The 92-mile-per-hour sinker. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Here's the toss. Way outside. The changeup misses. Full count. Here goes the pitch. Right in there on the sinker, but fouled at the plate. Wilson will have another chance here. Aaron Judge, the only other batter in all of MLB who's got a higher batting average than this guy. Here's the pitch. Just a little low. Ball 4. A 1-out walk. And that will bring up Tyler Soderstrom. Sergio says with a win today, we could get within half a game of second place in the American League. Moving on up. Moving on up, Sergio. Just like the Jeffersons. Moving on up. Next pitch from Alexander is right in the bottom left corner of the zone, but not given to him by the umpire. Man, that was a beautiful changeup. Ball 1, unfortunately. This umpire is being a little inconsistent on some of these calls. It's like a gamble, 50-50 coin flip if it's a strike or ball. Now, that's a strike, but only because he was swinging. It was in the zone, but you never know with this umpire. So there's some swings. Swingerstrom. Or Soderstrike. Tyler Soderstrike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the toss. High and outside. Sinker misses by multiple inches. Or quite a few centimeters. Depending on what your unit of measurement is. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hit high in the air. It looks playable. On the infield, Walker is over on the mound, and he's got it. Good job. I'm glad Walker ran over and got that. Alexander ran out of the way at the moment of the pop-up. It's like he realized suddenly, oh yeah, I need to get out of the way. Took a moment for Walker to find it. He's like, oh, there it is. And he ran over finally. Next pitch is grounded to short. Pena goes to second. Dubon grabs it. Out number 3. No harm, no foul. Jason Alexander has a solid first inning. Excellent. Can't complain about that first inning. 1 walk, no hits, no runs. Compared to J.P. Sears, he is a pitching god. Jason Alexander is a pitching god from the world of Seinfeld. All the way from Steinbrenner in New York, we have Jason Alexander, who has a nice solid inning. 1 walk on a full count. And 3 up and 3 down otherwise. Not bad at all. I can't complain about that first inning. Astros score a couple of runs. They don't strand the base runners. But did you guys notice that they didn't actually score anybody until they got 2 outs? It's so ridiculous, isn't it? They get bases loaded and only score with 2 outs. The Astros really are something else. It's like we can't start scoring early when we have no outs, right? We can't make a run unless we have 2 outs already. What in the world is going on with their mentality there? It's kind of like, oh crap, we need to get it in gear. We have guys on base, and then they start scoring. Or crap, we got 2 outs. We need to do something. It's kind of like the mentality. It feels that way. It's kind of silly. Yesterday was embarrassing, old dog. You're right about that. Go Stros indeed. Sergio says, I like that Alexander gave way to Walker to secure that catch. Yeah, it took him a moment, though. If you go back and look at it, he was like, oh crap, yeah, I need to get out of the way. But at least he realized it. They didn't really know where the ball was. If you look at it, Walker didn't even know where the ball was. He was kind of like, where is it? And then when he finally saw it, he ran over. And then Alexander, at that moment, he finally realized the ball was going to come down right here, and then he got out of the way. It was funny because the whole infield, they didn't really know where the ball was. Cam Smith is back at the plate. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Cam should have struck out his last at bat. That ball was clearly in the bottom of the zone, but the umpire didn't catch it because the catcher came up so fast and made the throw to second base. That one's in the dirt and to the back stop for ball 1. 77-mile-per-hour slider missing. 25 likes, 5 more to get to 30. Guys, remember, I'm trying to get to 500 subs. I really, really want to get to 500 subs by July 1st. Cam cranks it out to left center field. It's pretty deep. All the way back. It's gone. Yeah. Crank it up, Cam Smith. I am so glad that he did not strike out that last at bat. How do you like that? Crank it up, Cam Smith. 3-0 Astros to left center field. Crushed. Number 11 got it going on right now. Doobie comes to the plate, takes the first pitch inside and low for ball 1. It's been a while since Cam has cranked one out. That feels good right there, doesn't it? Let's score at least 1 run an inning. Yeah, I agree. Let's do that. Next pitch to Dubon. He drills it into left center. Might be down. It is all the way to the wall. Dubon's going to have at least a double. He's booking it around. He's got it. Standing up, no problem. Back-to-back hits. A homer. And then a double by Doobie. A homer by Crank It Up Cam. And then a double by Doobie. A Doobie double. All right, I like this. Astros getting a ton of walks last inning. This inning, they're like, hey, let's like actually hit the ball this time. I like it. 3 hits now for the Stros. 3 runs. Hummer. Hummus is at the plate. Takes that first pitch inside and low for ball 1. Here's the next pitch. Come on, join the party, man. Get a hit. Too far inside, ball 2. That's right. Make him pitch. Astros are making him pitch. Making Sears put it in the zone, but when he does, they are punishing it. 43 pitches now for him without a single out in the second. Come on, my Stros bros. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Hummel. That's in there. 92 mile per hour. Oh, I thought that was a sinker. That was a fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. And I'm going to put a little bit of creamer in this cup of coffee. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Sears. Ooh, did I hit him? Yeah. He just hit Hummel. Hit him on the arm. He started to go and stopped. Now they're checking to see if that hit him or hit the knob of the bat. Let's take a look. It might have been off the... Hard to say. Kind of hard to tell if it hit the bat or hit his hand, but Hummel immediately went to first base and they gave it to him. So, hey, we got runners on first and second with the Flash back at the plate. His second at bat here in the second inning. Here we go. Here's the first pitch. Hey, ripped down the line. Oh, just foul. Man, that was a rocket. Rocket Man. Pena walked and scored. He and Paredes both. Oh, wow. They've already got the bullpen going for the A's. Not a good day for Sears. Here's the second pitch to Pena. Ooh, man, that was it, Pena. Swing and a miss. 93 right in the zone. In the middle, inside. Should have cranked that like Cam Smith. Crank it like Cam. Crank it like Cam, yo. Pena steps out of the box to take a little timeout. The count is 0-2 with no outs. Runners on first and second, guys. Here's the pitch. Hit up the middle. Is it going to get down? No. It's a line drive caught by the center fielder. He tries to bring it in quick, but nothing doing there. Dubon is back. Unfortunately, Pena lines out. One away. Isak the ball comes to the plate. This is where we could really blow the game open right here with a big hit from Isak. Go up 6-0 in the second inning. Yeah, they pull Sears out immediately, I think. Actually, they might pull Sears out right now anyway if he just gives up any hit to Paredes. Here comes the first pitch. Outside, ball one. I like how I get these messages from my streaming software. It says, YouTube is not receiving any data or information. Make sure you are connected. And then a few seconds later, it says, your streaming quality is excellent. Make up your mind. 1-0, here's a pitch. In the dirt. 2-0. Sears is scared to pitch to these guys. This is the top of the order. I mean, think about it. You got Pena, Paredes, Altuve, and Diaz. All guys who can put a smack on the ball. Scary. Here's the pitch. High, ball three. He's not pitching to Paredes. If he walks him, do you think they'll pull him out? What do you guys think? If he walks Paredes right here, do you think they'll go ahead and pull him out? Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Right in there on the upper outer corner. He snuck it in there for strike number one. Sergio says it's time for Cooper to earn his spot in the lineup. I sure hope he does. Sure hope he does. But he got lucky there with a hit by pitch. That's in the middle of the zone, and he fouls it off. It's definitely one way to get to first. If you're not hitting the ball, might as well get hit by pitch. If you're not hitting, you might as well get hit. Sergio says, I was hoping that J.P. Sears would pitch all night. Yeah, let's leave him in. Let's let him pitch about 300 pitches. At this rate, he would pitch 300 pitches. It's okay with me. I don't think the A's would be okay with it, but it'd be nice. Full count to Isak the ball. J.P. Sears with his 54th pitch on the way. Fouled back. That one was a little high. The fastball, but Paredes liked it. Paredes liked the pitch. He went after it and fouled it back to the net. We have another 3-2 count on the way. Here's the pitch. That one's hit high in the air on the infield. It should be playable. And it is. Jacob Wilson over at third base puts it away. That retires Paredes. So the Astros doing the same thing they did in the first inning. Other than the home run by Cam, the Astros have gotten a couple of guys on base. Jose Altuve, my hero at the plate. We've got 2 outs. Does that mean that it's time for Altuve to score runs? He flew out his last at bat. Got an opportunity for an RBI or 2 or 3 here. He had a home run yesterday, the only run in the game, actually. Check swing there, low and inside. They say he didn't go. I think it was obvious that he did not go. I think it was obvious. Did we really have to petition for strike there? Really? Next pitch on the way. 84-mile-per-hour changeup in the upper outer part of the zone. Upper outer corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That's hit hard to left field, but it's going to be shallow. Clark is under it, and that'll be out number 3. Altuve flies out again, but they do get 1 run from the Cam Smith crank to left center. That one right there. Astros strand a couple of runners. It's pretty sad, though. Think about it. Cam with the leadoff homer, and then we get a double and a walk. We get 2 runners on with no outs, and then we go 3 up and 3 down. That's disappointing. I'm happy for the Cam home run, but that's a disappointing result for that inning for the Astros to get 2 leadoff runners on, and then they can't even move them over. Now, this is what I don't understand. In a situation like that, you're up 3-0. You have runners on first and second. Why not go ahead and bunt them over? Why not do that? They could have bunted twice to score a run. They could have bunted them over and then bunted again to score another run. Then you'd be up 4-0. Am I missing something here? I'm just saying, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't know. I'm just running my mouth. I just feel like if you're already up 3 runs, why not play small ball and get another run out of it for sure, rather than risk stranding the runners again like they've been doing. That's just me personal feeling. That's me personal feeling. I learned that on the 7 Seas. Hey, Eric. Good to see you back. Welcome back to the channel. Good day to you, too. It's a beautiful day out here in the Hiroshima countryside. It's about 29 degrees. Maybe? Is it really that hot? Wow. Okay. In Tokyo, it's 33 degrees. So, yeah, it's much hotter in Tokyo. Let's see. What's the temperature here? I thought it was less. Yeah, it's 28. It's a little less than 20. I thought it was a little less than that. I was right. It's 28 degrees here where I live. Nick Kurtz is at the plate. He already has 2 balls. My bad. While I'm looking up at the temperature, I missed the first 2 pitches. The next pitch is a little low. Ball 3. Oh, we have runners on. Why? I need to turn those off. Here's the next pitch. Right in there. 93 mile per hour pitch to Kurtz. 22 pitches now for Alexander. 3-1 is the count against Kurtz. I believe Kurtz had a homer yesterday. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good toss. 27 people following the live stream and 27 likes. Even Steven, thank you so much. 3 more to get to 30. Help me out. Hook a brother up. Hey, swing and a miss. Nice. Back-to-back strikes. Swings and misses. And he gets the strikeout. There we go. Nobody on. I don't know why the first base runner was lit up. Max Muncy at the plate. First pitch is fouled off. The sinker, 93 miles an hour. Strike 1. Kurtz was Mr. Walkoff. Yeah, I just vaguely, indirectly referenced that, Fred. I didn't want to say it directly. Strike 2. Good pitch right in the zone. A sinker. 93. Oh, and 2. Here's the toss. Ooh, not very competitive there, Alexander. What are you doing? What are you thinking about? You can't throw it up there and expect him to swing at it. It's a bad pitch. Here's the 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. That's much better. 2 strikeouts for Alexander this inning, and we have 2 up and 2 down. You know what that means? Tommy likey. Tommy want swingy. Oh my gosh. Here's the next pitch. Right in there. Nice Swiffer. Haven't seen a Swiffer yet. Right in there for strike 1. Austin Wynns has got a pretty good batting average. 346 through about 30 games or so. That one misses for ball 1. Another Swiffer. 2 Swiffers in a row. I'm guessing that he switched to the Swiffer because of who he's facing. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Right in the zone, hit the middle, but right to Dubon, who lobs it over to first for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down. A nice clean inning for Jason Alexander. 2 good innings. The Astros are cruising so far, despite stranding so many runners on base. The Astros have stranded 4 runners on base multiple times. Now, I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I'll tell you again, because for those of you who either don't know it or don't think about it, there are 2 different statistics that they talk about. Most people focus on runners stranded on base, and that basically means the runners who are on base at the end of the inning. But to me, that's not the important statistic. The important statistic is runners left on base. Okay? And here's the difference. It means a batter comes up and there's a runner or 2 runners or 3 runners on base, and he fails to bring them in. So, at the end of an inning, if you have 2 runners on base, you stranded 2. And they'll say that. You hear the commentators say that. The Astros strand 2, and we go into the bottom of the second. But that's not quite accurate. Actually, the Astros last inning stranded 6 runners. How is it possible? Because they left 6 runners on base. They left 2 runners on base 3 times. Okay? Runners on first and second with no outs. Next batter, out. Next batter, out 2. Next batter, out 3. That is 6 runners left on base. 6, not 2, 6. So if you add up the number of runners that were left on base in the first inning and the second inning, you can see where it adds up very fast. Astros almost at 10 runners left on base already in just 2 innings. This gives you a more accurate idea of how well a team is moving the runners around. Diaz is at the plate right now. First pitch is on the way from Sears. He pops it straight up in the air on the very first pitch. Goes out to left field, easily playable, puts it away, out number 1. Sears might get lucky with an easy inning. '60th pitch of the game coming up for Sears in just a moment. He's facing Christian Walker, who walked his last at bat. I need my lip balm. Here comes the first pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone, strike 1. 89 miles an hour on that sinker. Is Sears settled in now? Did the Astros miss their window of opportunity? Here comes the next pitch. Right in the top of the zone. Could have been a strike. Called a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sergio says the Rangers game has ended. They lost 6-1 to the Royals. Heck yes! The Mariners are up 7-0 against the Red Sox. Well, that's no good. But I believe the Sox can come back. Another high pitch. That one was clearly out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Walker. Did we get to 30 likes yet? Almost. 2 more. Got 28 likes on my live stream. If you guys haven't subbed, please remember to do that. Help me out here. That would be really great. Walker hits that one up in the air. Another fly ball. Shallow right. Butler is in, and he puts it away. Fly ball to left field by Diaz. Fly ball to right field by Walker. Back-to-back high fly balls. Easy inning so far for Sears. That brings up Mr. Jake the Snake, Jake the Rake. Here's the first pitch to Myers. A little too far inside there, buddy. 80 miles an hour on the Swiffer. Ball 1. Absolutely, Sergio. 3-0 is not a comfortable lead ever for any team. This is the MLB. Looks like Myers is going to fly out too, but this time to the shortstop, and he does. 3 fly balls in a row. Wow, Sears puts the Astros down like a pro in that inning. Less than 10 pitches, 3 fly balls. None of them in any deep territory at all. 2 shallow outfield and one to the shortstop. No good. That's no good. I can pour myself another cup of coffee, but I want to grab my lip balm. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to run over here and grab this. Actually, I wonder if I can reach it. Yeah, I can reach it without even getting up. I forgot. I took it out of my pants. It's right here. This is my lip balm. Quick relief for dry, chapped, cracked lips. Mentholatum medicated stick, baby. Mentholatum medicated stick. Oh, yeah. This stuff smells good. I like the smell of mentholatum. Sweet Richard, when will Fromber be back? Fromber Valdez. Let's see. I can give you the answer to that in just a moment, I think. Next game, tomorrow. There you go. Valdez is pitching against Severino tomorrow. So there you go. Here you go, Richard. Okay, guys. Who's at the plate now? Louis Urias. That's in there for strike 1. All right. Let's put some more hot water in here. Urias. Luis Urias. Next pitch from Alexander is a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Urias. Here comes a 1-1 toss. High fastball fouled back. 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strike. It's interesting how these professional athletes can do something so simple as to, a pitcher spraining his ankle, right? Wow, that's hit really hard, but foul into the stands, right in the corner. The guy gets lucky and gets it into the net there. Lucky fan. Gets a little souvenir. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Urias. Excuse me. Here's the 2-2. Way outside the 4-seam fastball. Not anywhere near the strike zone there. Full count. Here's the next pitch. Fouled at the plate. Count remains 3-2. Caesar says, man, I keep getting fed from someone making videos that the Stros are cheating. Fromber had some sticky substance on his gloves, so they suspended him. Well, if that's true, that would be news. That would be big news, not hidden news. Ball 4, that would be a walk. A leadoff walk. Cute Astros fans. So-so Astros fans. They got the nice shirts though. First pitch to Denzel Clark on the way. A little low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Clark. Here's the pitch from Alexander. Right in there. Chop to third, no play at second. Paredes grabs it and tosses it to first for the out. Runner advances to second. 1 out, runner on second base. And miss for strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from Al. 2 ground outs. The runner is now on third base. Caesar, is he talking about something current or something a while back? Because Fromber has been accused before of cheating, but nothing has ever come of that. I think that's old news. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul by Jacob Wilson, who's at the plate again. His second at bat. He did have a walk his last at bat. Still no hits for the A's against Alexander. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Whoa, he hit him. He hits his old teammate. Now we've got runners on the corners. Batting coach is out there to check. He got hit right on the forearm. Seems like he's all right, though. He's going to head to first base after a very short check. I don't think it was a very fast pitch. Not as fast as it could have been. Maybe a changeup. That brings up Tyler Strikerstorm, or Soderstrike. He takes that first pitch a little low for ball 1. Caesar says everything Chris Powers is the guy who posted the shenanigans. Chris Powers? Don't know him. Some people just can't help but live in the past. You gotta let those people go. Low and inside, practically in the dirt there. Ball 2, 2-0. Come on, Alexander. We don't need an old-timey jam. Sergio says fake news. Caesar, the pitchers are checked out. Yeah, that's right. Sergio's right. Every single inning they're checked. Hey, strike, low and away. 91 in that lower outside corner. 2-1 is the count. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Here comes the next pitch. Grounded foul down the first baseline. Strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. They were showing this was a bad hop right here. Watch this. Wow, it just jumped. Did you see that at the last part? It jumped over the ball boy's head. That's funny. This is hit out to left field. Long run. Hummel's got it. Good movement by Hummel to run over there really fast, get set up and catch that ball. A little bit of trouble for Alexander, but he gets through it again. Doesn't give up a single hit. Doesn't give up a run. 3 clean innings for Jason Alexander. We go into the top of the 4th. Astros up 3-1. 3 hits, 3 runs, no errors. The A's, no hits, no runs, no errors. Looking good so far. Looking good. And I'll have myself another cup of coffee here in just a moment. My goal today here at my house is to finish cleaning up what's called a Genkan. For those of you who want to know a little bit about Japanese culture. some of these, the entryway of a house, you could say like there's a door and then you have a small entrance on the inside before you actually go into the main part of the house. Maybe before you go into the hallway or before you go into the house, you'll have like a little small room. Maybe in that room, the floor is a little lower. Maybe it's a tile floor. You can wear your shoes right there, and you take off your shoes and you put them in the shoe box, or you slide off your shoes and you leave them on the floor, and then you step up into the main house. You put on your slippers and that sort of thing. That entrance area is called the genkan. And the genkan is supposed to be, traditionally, it's a space that connects the outside world and nature with the inside world, the human. And now back-to-back homers in the same inning from Smith and Dubon. Wow. 5-0 Stros. I guess they're trying to give the bullpen a chance. Dubon is waving out to the bullpen. Wow, Hummel is at the plate. 69 pitches now for Sears. Hummel was hit his last at bat on the hand. Let's see if he can hit the ball here. He doesn't swing on that one. 92 in the zone on the outside edge. 0-1 is the count. Here's the next pitch from Sears. Hummel takes that one low and outside for strike two, man. You had two guys come up with back-to-back swings, jacking it out, and you take the first two pitches for strikes. Please explain that to me. Please explain that to me. Here's the next pitch. He swings at that one. That one was actually in the zone, so good swing, but you're waiting a little too long. Or in the words of Walken, you know you're waiting too long to swing the bat. I don't like it at all. No, not a bit. Fouls it off again. There's that second homer by Cam. 431 feet. 0-2 pitch again to Hummel is on the way. In the dirt, ball one. He finally takes one that's a ball. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you, Hummel. Thank you, Hummus. Good stuff. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Way outside, ball two, 2-2. J.P. Sears giving up 5 earned runs today. Hummel's batting average right now is 0. Let's change that. He hits it pretty hard out to center field, but should be playable. That's pretty deep, though. Not too far from the warning track. He gave it a little bit of a ride. There was Doobie's homer. Low and inside, but he cranked it out. One away here in the top of the fourth. Pitching coach is on the way out. It's going to be it for J.P. Sears. They're not going to let him face the top of the Astros batting order. Poor J.P. New pitcher incoming. Looks like we got ourselves another righty. Astros are going to light him up. What do you think? Let's see. How many runs do the Astros score in this game? I say 9. Guys, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say the Astros score 9 runs. We're going to get 4 more. 5 hits, 5 runs for the Strizos. Sergio says these two guys want the Gatorade celebration early in the game. That's right. It's still too early to be celebrating, that's for sure, in an MLB game. In a baseball game, yeah, you got to wait, but still, it's got that vibe. Sergio says, I was hoping Hummel was involved in the Wes Clark trade. Well, you know, Hummel hasn't shown me anything impressive yet, but the bigger disappointment so far has been Jacob Melton. What bothers me, okay, maybe you guys don't know this or not, but I was listening to some of the commentators recently, just a day or two ago. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but they were talking about some of the statements the Astros staff, and I say staff, I mean like the owner, people like Dana Brown and these other guys. They were talking about Melton in particular and how they wanted to give him, they believed in him or whatever, and they wanted him to give him a really good opportunity to settle in and prove himself and earn a spot. And they think that he is going to fit in. They really believe that he's going to fit in with the Astros. And it's like, dude, he has the highest strikeout percentage on the entire team. I know that he doesn't have as large a sample size as somebody like Christian Walker, who also strikes out a lot. But the amount of strikeouts that Melton has versus Walker, as far as percentage, is much higher. Pena's at the plate. He has one strike after that first swing and miss up and in. We have no runners on with one out. Next pitch is on that outside edge, 95 mile per hour pitch, strike 2. JP Sears, thank you for the 5-run lead. Yes, Christmas in June, courtesy of one Mr. JP Sears Roebuck. Christmas catalog. Do any of you remember that? Do you guys remember that when you were a kid? Do any of you remember that like I do? The Christmas catalog that came out from Sears every year? Oh my God. That Christmas catalog was the highlight of the year. They had so much amazing stuff in the Sears catalog, the Sears Christmas catalog. Oh my gosh, talk about nostalgia. Outside in the dirt, bounces to the backstop. No chance at being competitive there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pena has walked and scored, but that's about it. No hits yet. Here's a pitch. This is hit to shortstop. He fires over to first, gets him by several steps. Pena grounds out for out number 2. He socked the ball. Paredes comes to the plate. Pena's batting average goes down from 319 to 318. He's showing the bat that he used to hit the home run. That's funny. Paredes takes the first pitch in there for ball 1. The pitcher is Beto. Next pitch from Beto is on the way. Bottom of the zone. Strike 1. 1-1 is the count. I forgot to change Beto's name on the screen. He's got a strange name, doesn't he? Osvaldo Beto. Osvaldo Beto. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Paredes with 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the toss. Low and outside. You know, you have to wonder, how do people like Pena and Paredes feel, and Walker, and even Altuve, when your bottom of the lineup guys are cranking the ball out like this, and you don't even have a hit, you know? It's got to bother them a little bit. It's got to. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that foul off. The count is even. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 3. Another full count. Paredes continues to be the king of at-bat pitches. Number 1 in the MLB, I believe. Here's the pitch. Hey, it's crushed out to left field, but it's going to be foul. Holy cow, that's way up there. Man, that went out of the entire stadium. I'm not joking. That ball went out of the stadium and into the street. Unfortunately, it was foul. Paredes just cranked one out of the entire park, guys. I wonder what the distance was on that. Like 500 feet? That's nuts. Here comes the 3-2. Another line drive shot, foul, right into the screen on the left side. Man, Paredes is crushing this ball. 37 following and only 29 likes. Guys, give me just one more like on the live stream. Get me to 30, and then we can see about working our way to 40. Thank you so much. Here's the 3-2 pitch. In the dirt, another walk. So Isak was trying to get himself a big hit, but Beto wasn't having that. He'd rather have him on base than pitch to him. And the boos start in as Altuve is announced. He comes strolling to the plate. One of these days, all of these people, they don't realize it, but they're hurting their lives big time by booing this guy. Here's the first pitch to Altuve. Opposite field, line drive smack, but into the crowd for strike one. That was a pretty good rip. 0-1 is the count. Paredes on first base with 2 outs. Here's the next pitch to Altuve. Fouls that one back. A high sinker, 0-2. As always, especially with these really rude crowds, I have a strong desire for Altuve to get a home run and just shut them up. Here's a 0-2 pitch in the dirt outside, ball 1. Good take. 96 mile per hour sinker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sergio says Melton's bat was trending up and he was playing good defense in left field. His defense is good. I don't have a problem with that, and his speed is great. But his bat was getting better? I'm not sure I agree with that. Low and outside again. Check swing by Altuve. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Paredes on first. Altuve bounces it to third. The third baseman grabs it and throws it on the run. Barely gets him in time. Ground out for Altuve, and that's the 3rd out. But not before the Astros get a couple of back-to-back homers. Cam Smith and then Mauricio Dubon. 5-0 Astros. Let's take a quick look. Now that you mentioned Jacob Melton, I am kind of Jacob Melton. I'm kind of interested to look at his stats. Let's take a look. Okay, so he had 9 at bats his last 7 days, and in those at bats he had 4 hits, which is really good. His batting average was .444, but 9 at bats is nothing. That's nothing. His overall average, his overall performance is the important thing. He has also in those at-bats, he has 4 strikeouts. But if you look at his game, okay, they kind of break it down here. 17 at-bats in their away games, 2 hits, and 6 strikeouts. That's terrible. In the American League, 20 at-bats, 5 hits. That's batting .250. Very, very average. With 8 strikeouts. That's a lot. Almost half of his at-bats he struck out. In June, 29 at bats. Okay, now this is the important thing. Okay, in this entire month of June, he had 29 at bats and only 7 hits. 4 of those came in the last week, but just 7 hits, scored 3 times, and had just 6 RBIs, 12 strikeouts. Those aren't good numbers. I wouldn't say there's anything trending up about that. Not at all. I mean, he had his last week before he got injured. Yes, a little better, but we might have a double play here. I didn't even realize there was a guy on base. I was looking at Melton's stats. Apparently, the Rooker got the first hit of the game for the A's. And then Kurtz came up and grounded into a double play. That's the guy I like to see ground into a double play, is Kurtz. Max Muncy is at the plate with 2 outs. Swing and a miss, low in the zone. It took me so long to find the stats on Melton that it took me away from the game. Here's the next pitch to Muncy, low and outside, ball 1. 1-1. Here's the next toss. Ooh, inside almost clipped him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hey, Jordan, welcome in. Brendan, welcome back. Where are you streaming from tonight? I am at home. As you can see, I'm back in the Hiroshima countryside. Back at home. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Right in there, bottom of the zone, taken for a strike. 79-mile-per-hour Swiffer. Good toss. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No runners on. Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. Got the strikeout. Alexander has a nice, easy inning. 1 hit, but that runner was erased with the double play. How about that? Good, solid first 4 innings for Alexander. We got ourselves a good deal so far. I'm feeling good about Alexander. Can you imagine if he gets through a few more innings? If he gets through at least 6 like this, I'll be happy. But imagine, can you imagine if he did 7? That'd be great. That'd be great. Jordan says you should have 2 more likes. I've got 33. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Sergio, you're right. Even when Paredes isn't 100%, he sure does know how to work the pitch count. Yeah, injury or not, or slow or not, doesn't matter. He still has the ability to work that pitch count, doesn't he? King Tuck says, hey guys, great game. Unfortunately, Seattle's kicking the holy hell out of Boston. That's unfortunate, but, you know, at least we won't lose any ground, right? Again, we had the opportunity yesterday to gain ground, but yesterday and today will be similar, right? We keep the same lead. Take this time to swing at the like button. Yes, that's right. So the Astros scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, none in the third, 2 in the fourth. How many will they score in the fifth? Yainer Diaz is due up at the plate, followed by Christian Walker and Jake Myers. It looks like Osvaldo Bido might still be on the mound. We will see. Old Dog says, I just got back and our 6, 7, and 8 hitters are doing what the top 4 should be doing. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, and what's funny is, how do you think those guys feel? I said this earlier, Old Dog, but can you imagine how Pena and Paredes and Walker and Altuve must feel about Cram Smith? He is cramming it out of the park. Cam Smith and Dubon cranking it out of the park. Multiple times even for Cam. Here comes the second pitch to Diaz. Check swing on the outside. They say he went, and that's strike 2. Diaz quickly down in the count, 0-2 before I can even get with the call here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside in the dirt, another slider. They must have Diaz's number. because they were putting those outside breaking pitches out there left and right. Those are the ones he likes to chase historically. Here's the bag. How about that? That's going to be a hit for Diaz. How do you like that? We have a leadoff hit on a 1-2 count. Look at this bounce right off the bag. A big chop and it goes boink. That should have been an out. That brings up Christian Walker with Diaz on first, no outs. On the outside edge, 96 miles an hour, strike one. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Walker. Way outside. Woo, almost a wild pitch. Catcher barely able to grab it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Old Dog says they were nervous about bringing Cam along too quickly. I think this experience is just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, man, can you imagine if he just goes gangbusters for the rest of the year? Talk about a wonderful gem. Launched 2 homers and a single, having a wonderful game. That brings up Dubon. Dubon might be swinging for the fences again. He's already got himself a homer and a double. Here's the first pitch. He lets that one go. Ball 1. Looks like he wasn't even going to swing at that one. Just 1 out, runner on first. Cam Smith on first. Let me change that. There we go. 2 for 2 is Dubon. Here comes a pitch from Beto. High. Maybe his libido is off. His libido is off. 2 balls and no strikes to Doobie. Yeah, Jason Alexander sitting pretty now. Going to get himself a win with the Astros in his first game. In the bottom of the zone. Barely below the zone. Ball 3. Could have potentially been called a strike. But it was more ball than strike. So 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch to Doobie. He takes out and he just backs out. Doesn't even take it. No intention of swinging there. 3 balls and 1 strike. Young guys are putting on a show. I'm happy to see it, guys. Can you imagine? At the end of the season, we go into the playoffs and everybody's like, the Astros are the best young team in the league. Can you imagine them saying that? That'd be crazy. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, but that's ball 4. He's got a walk. A double, a home run, and now a walk. A homer, and a single for Cam Smith. Cam Smith and Dubon getting things done almost alone. Hummel comes to the plate again. Trying to get his first MLB hit. He was hit by pitch earlier. But he is a switch hitter, by the way. He's batting lefty right now. First pitch on the way from Beto. Ooh, Hummel holds up. Why? 86 cutter right in the middle of the plate for strike 1. That was a good one to crank. They're putting on a clinic, no veterans allowed. Yeah, apparently. That means that Hummel needs to get in on the action, right? Here's the 0-1 pitch. He hits it straight up in the air. It's going to go out into the crowd, though, luckily. 0-2 is the count. What kind of throw was that? Yes, he's talking. It was a bad throw. It really was. That was a throw it as hard as you possibly can and hope for the best throw. Casey says Astros just having fun at this point. Looks like the youngins are. The veterans are probably annoyed. Timer violation on Beto, and that'll be ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Way to go, Cam. Show Cooper Hummel how to run to first base. Here's a pitch. Check swing, low and inside. Ball 2. 2-2. So with the pitch timer and that pitch, We have an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Cooper Hummus. The Stros pissed about yesterday's game. Well, the young guys are. The older guys don't seem too phased. They seem a little lethargic. And the dirt, low and inside, full count. Hey, so Hummel has got Beto's libido going down. King Tuck says they should be ashamed of that game. Well, actually, you know, the top of the Astros lineup should be ashamed about yesterday and today, to be honest. They haven't done anything today either. It's the bottom of the lineup. Didn't get in there in time, and it was a terrible slide. But the third baseman lost the ball, so he got in at third. DeBond didn't run, but then he did go. Because of the ball coming out of his glove and rolling around on the ground, Dubon was able to take second. So we have runners on second and third now with 2 outs. Jeremy Pena at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. By the way, Hummel struck out. That last pitch was a strikeout. It was strike 3, so Hummel struck out. In case I didn't clarify that. 2 outs. 0-1 is the count to Pena. The flash at the plate. Looking for a hit. Outside for ball 1. 1-1. Pena over 2 today. The top of the Astros batting lineup. Looking like garbage today. Despite the big lead in the game, they haven't contributed anything. Not really. That's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Beto has only pitched 1 1/3 innings. He's already up to 43 pitches. The Astros are making him work. Making all these pitchers work. Work, work, work. Here comes the 2-1. Whoa! He nailed him. I heard that. He got Pena right in the back. Bases are loaded now. Pena has been hit more than... I heard that thump when it hit him. That was a pretty solid thump. Holy crap. Bases loaded for Isak the ball Paredes, guys. Isak the ball at the plate. Here's the pitch. Way outside. He doesn't want to pitch to this guy, that's for sure. Bases juiced. Is this where Paredes decides, you know what? Screw all these young kids. I'm going to show them how to hit with bases loaded. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Beto. Low. Beto throws low. 2-0. Send Pena and Altuve out to get hot dogs. Put them on the private jet and send them down to Tacos Arandas. Here's the pitch. Right in there. 95 in the center of the zone. A sinker. Strike 1. 2-1. Tuck says, I think Altuve and Pena got together and decided to only swing at pitches that are 12 inches plus outside. Sounds like it, or seems like it, yeah. Hey, right through. Paredes comes through with a hit. It's not a grand slam, but it's going to score at least 1 run. Here's the second effort. Yay, safe in there. Look at that. Good base running. Look at that base running by Dubon. He went in standing, didn't slide. 2 RBIs, and the Astros now have the exact amount of runs that I predicted that they would have by the end of the game, which is 9. A rip to the third base side, right through the height or get down or what. Now the A's are looking at challenging the call at the plate. Yeah, they're going to review it. You know, the funny thing is Dubon didn't get any signal, so he came in standing up, and it might have saved him, because I think if he had slid, he would have been out for sure. The umpire called him safe. It looks like he clearly was safe, but if we can get a nice... If we don't get a nice angle on that, then the call will stand. He'll be safe. But we're going to have to get a better angle in order to see if this can be overturned. Look at this. Yeah, he was already in there. When he got tagged, he was already on the plate. Yep. Yeah, the foot came down on the plate before the glove got on him. Here comes the call. It's confirmed. He's safe. The call stands. The A's lose their challenge. 9-0 Stros. Heck yes. Runners on the corners. Isaac Paredes with a 2 RBI single. Crowd is booing, but forget you. You can eat it. You can suck it. You terrible A's fans. I don't have any sympathy for most of you fans yelling all these horrible things out to Altuve when he comes to the plate. Forget you. You deserve to lose 9-0. Actually, you deserve to lose 18-0. Jose Altuve comes to the plate with runners on the corners. He has been putting the bat on the ball, ground out, couple of flyouts. Here's a pitch. 86 right on the inside, taken for strike one. 9-0. Top of the batting order finally does a little something for the Stros. Christian Walker getting something done. Paredes getting something done. Altuve is at the plate right now. That pitch is a little low. Good take. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dubon pulled a Homer Simpson dope. That's right. Cam needs some lottery tickets. Yeah. Here's the next pitch, Altuve. He rips it to the left field. Is it going to be fair? Oh, foul by about an inch or two. That was an extra base hit for sure. Man, Altuve, you were so close. 1 or 2 inches foul. So close. Look at this. Wow. Right barely in the dirt there. Just a couple of inches foul. He ripped that ball. They probably think we're cheating. That's the only thing they have, King Tuck. That's the only thing they have. They have to always fall back to that anytime the Astros win. He grounds that one to short. No play at second. He goes over to first, and he gets him for out number 3. So, man. But 4 more runs. Nothing doing for Altuve today. But we got another home run courtesy of that guy right there, Christian Walker. And a 2-hit RBI for Isaac Paredes. Man, what an inning. Astros, 9 hits and 9 runs. How do you like that productivity? Jason Alexander with 58 pitches. He's going to be facing Austin Wynns in the bottom of the 5th. Let's take a look at Jason Alexander's performance so far, if you guys don't mind. Let me mute this. I got commercials going on the MLB network. It's distracting me. Distracting me! Alexander has pitched 4 complete innings. He only has given up 1 hit. Just 1 hit. No runs. 2 walks. Strikeouts. Good game so far. Shutout game through 4 innings. He is at 58 pitches. So if you were to break that down, let's say basically it's around 14, right? Just maybe 14 and a half pitches per inning. Just a tad high, but not bad. At this rate, if he's I'm not very familiar with Alexander, but if he's the kind of pitcher who can throw, at least 90 in a complete game, he could definitely go at least 2 more innings. He could complete 7 innings. He could. If he keeps pitching like this, and he's capable of 90 pitches, that means that he could get through the 7th inning, and we could get to a couple of our lesser for too long by accident. I'm going to get a copyright claim on that for sure. Have to cut that out. Austin Wynns is at the plate, swings at that one. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. He grounded out his last at bat. Here comes the next pitch. In the bottom of the zone, 91 miles an hour. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mariners 8-0. Astros 9-0. Yeah, the Astros are winning the battle of the destruction, right? The destruction battle. Who can destroy the other team better? Fouled away. The count remains 1-2. Tucker's Old Dog says, yeah, Tucker, their mother is cheating. Yeah, that's right. Their mom is cheating. That's why they're so upset. They're taking it out. They're projecting, right? 39 likes. Hey, one away. The live stream is one away from 40 likes. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off again. The count remains 1-2. King Tuck says Houston is where pitchers become stars. Yeah, and too many get injured recently. That pitch is out of the zone for ball 2. 2-2 is the count. Leadoff batter of the inning, Austin wins at the plate with a 2-2 count. Alexander still on the mound. Here's the next pitch. Just below the zone. Barely missed a strikeout. Full count. The Swiffer missing its mark. Brendan says, is this a rookie pitcher? No, he was traded from the A's. Here's a pitch. Ripped foul down the third baseline. Austin Wins calls a timeout. Jason Alexander. Hey, a broken bat by Wynn. Alexander nabs it up and lobs it over to Walker for the out. Good play. Broken bat to the pitcher. Let's take a look just so you guys can hear. Let me show you. He's my height, 6'2". 32 years old. Career ERA, not great. 6.06. 81 innings pitched. So you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Maybe it's too far over, but over here it has his information. But next batter is Louis Urias. Urias. He fouls that pitch off for strike one. The count is 1-1. I was just trying to get some information about Alexander. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch. The changeup got him going. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One more like on the live stream to get to 40. Just one more like. Hook me up if you can, guys, if you haven't liked already. And don't forget to subscribe. How far away am I from 400 subs? I haven't checked in the past couple of hours. This is hit high in the air out to left field and into the crowd. Count remains 1-2. Last laugh time, says Old Dog. That's right. King Tuck says, I hope they don't lowball Fromber. A little bit outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess Tuck, you want Fromber to stay with the Astros. You want them to give him a good contract. Is that right? This is hit into left field. Might be trouble. No, Myers gets there. Talk about speed. He rushes over, closes the gap in left center, makes the play. 2 away. Alexander 1 out away from getting out of this inning and completing 5 solid innings of ball. Sergio says today's pitching duel was supposed to be the battle of the incompetents, but Jason Alexander is doing great so far. Well, I can't even say that was the expectation, because I don't think that Alexander is an incompetent pitcher. I don't know where that comes from, because if you're just looking at that ERA, that doesn't mean anything. It's a very, very, very small sample size. Like I said, if you come in and just pitch even less than an inning, you give up a few runs, it's going to make your ERA astronomical. So it doesn't really give any good information about your abilities. That one's tapped on the infield. Paredes comes in and fires it over. What a great play by Paredes. Who cares about injuries? Paredes is in classic form on his defense right now. Paredes comes back in, playing defense, getting a hit, getting a couple RBIs. Nice to have you back, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. Sergio, thank you. It's still at 429. Okay, so it hasn't moved at all. When I looked last, it was 429 this morning, so it hasn't moved. Yesterday, it moved up a little bit. So I had a nice little bump in subscribers yesterday, but nothing has happened today. It hasn't changed at all. So it's strange how that works with YouTube. Sometimes it's like they're getting you out to new people, and then other times it just kind of dies. But let me see if I can take a look on my screen if I see anything different. View my channel. Open link in new tab. Yeah, mine says 433. Yeah, you have to refresh it. If you're looking at the live stream channel and you see 429, it's just because you haven't refreshed it. It's at 433, so it has gone up by 4, so that's good. That's good. Got 67 more to go. 67 more subscribers to go. 67 more subs to go for 500. Looking forward to that. 500 is important because once you get to 500, YouTube gives you gives me as the creator more options to modify the channel and do things on the channel. So that's why it's so important to get to 500. You could say it's like a first step to monetization. They have a couple of different monetization levels, but it's not just monetization. It's about extra tools and features and things that you can use. It's good for me and you guys. Diaz is at the plate facing Harris. Hogan Harris is in the game now for the A's. Beto is out. 93 on that outside edge. Yiner goes after it and fouls it away. We have people sitting on the grass out there watching the game. I wonder how much it costs to sit out there. Next pitch is in the dirt and bounces to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. That curveball not anywhere near hittable. Hulk Hogan Harris is the pitcher. Next pitch on the way. 1-1. Wow, that one goes to the backstop too. Bounces off the mitt of the catcher. 2 balls, 1 strike. Still looking for that one light to get to 40. Here's the 2-1 pitch way inside. Diaz pulls back. 3 balls and 1 strike. It's a hitter's count right now. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Low and inside. Ball 4. Hey. Something you don't see very often. Yiner Diaz getting a walk. 4 balls and 1 strike. That brings up Christian Walker, who had himself a nice little tap into left center field. 2-run homer. He has 1 walk and a 2-run shot today. Here's the first pitch to Walker. Right in there, 92 miles an hour. Strike 1 on the fastball. I love Jason in Seinfeld, says Tuck. Hit high in the air and foul. Strike 2. 0-2 is the count to Walker. Man, we're just camped out on 39 likes. Getting to that 40th like has been kind of difficult, right? Getting to 20 was pretty quick. Getting to 30 a little slow, but getting to 40 has been nightmare fuel. That one's inside, 94 miles an hour on that fastball. Almost clipping him on the waist. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hogan Harris. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. A little inside. Oh my gosh. At least 2 or 3 inches inside. Walker complaining about it. You know what? You're right to complain about that one because it wasn't close enough to be a strike. Guys, you know me. I always say if it's close enough, you can't take it. If you got 2 strikes, you can't take it when it's close, and that wasn't close. That was not close. Called strike 3 by the umpire, and that's out number 1. Jake Myers is at the plate. The first pitch to him is a 74-mile-per-hour curveball right in there for strike 1. And I'm still getting these ridiculous messages from my software. Swing and miss. That ball was below the zone. Another, I guess you could say, breaking ball. The changeup. Swing and a miss by Myers. Yainer camped out on first, waiting for somebody to move him around and get him out of the forest. Come save me, says Yainer. 0-2 the count against Myers with 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Harris. Way inside. The fastball missing the mark by a substantial sum. I need some more coffee. Some more coffee. 1-2 is the count to Myers. Another one way inside. 2 fastballs inside, back to back, and the count is 0-2. Let's see if I can get myself some hot water going here. Come on. Come on, Myers. 2-2. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Myers goes down on the curveball. So the fastballs don't work on Myers, but the curveballs and the changeups work wonders. That's all it took. 2 curveballs and a changeup. Myers couldn't handle any of those. The 2 fastballs, he let them go for balls. Next batter is Crank It Up Cam. He rips it down the third baseline. He's still trying, man. Don't rest. Don't roll back on your heels, man. Stay dug in. Show the top of this batting lineup how to do it. That's in there. 93 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. 0-2 with 2 outs. Yainer on first. Astros up 9-0 here in the top of the 6th. Is Cram going to get him another pitch? Cram bounces this one to third. Might be a little trouble. He spins it around, throws it to first. Good play by the third baseman. So Cam does not get another hit. But he's putting the bat on the ball, that's for sure. 9 hits for the Stros, 9 runs through 6 innings. We go into the bottom of the 6th. 9-0. 1 error, 1 hit, and no runs for the homeless A's. And if anybody is wondering why I'm being so rude about the A's, it's because the fans are being so rude to Altuve. If you guys are going to be so rude to Altuve, then forget you. I have no love for teams whose fans act like trash. If you're going to act like trash, then you're going to get treated like trash. That's all I have to say. That's why I have no love for the Mariners, no love for the Dodgers, and now no love for the A's. I don't care what the fans are going through with their team. Just by the feeling on the field and the comments that I'm hearing in my headset from the so-called fans on the field, you're acting like trash. So forget you and your team. Let's see here. King Tuck says Walker has a hell of a glove at first. Don't think he gets enough credit for that. I think he gets a lot of credit. I mean, he's gotten gold gloves. Plus, they're constantly talking about his great performance at first base. I think he gets a lot of credit. Tuck says, I saw that coming. Myers gets this frustrated look on his face when that happens. He becomes useless. Yeah, and what's sad is that the 2 fastballs that were inside, he took those for balls, which is fine. But the 3 breaking pitches were also balls. No, one I think was in the bottom of the zone. But the other 2 were balls. That could have been a walk. Could have been a 4 or 5-pitch walk. So let's see here. Casey says John Singleton last year batted 243, 43 RBIs, 13 homers in 119 games. Walker's 234, 321, 386. He just needs to keep it up. I hope he gets better and shallow center field puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out. Alexander has a nice start to the bottom of the 6th. Yeah, you're right about Philly too, King Tuck. That's right. I agree. Phillies fans are also not good. Yankees fans are not as bad actually, but I wouldn't say they're good either. First pitch right in there for strike 1 to Jacob Wilson. A walk and a hit by pitch for him today. He hasn't put the bat on the ball yet, although his batting average is one of the best in the MLB. Second best, I believe. He hits this one high in the air. Dubon is calling off Walker, and he puts it away, out number 2. Nice. That's going to hurt his batting average. Two away, just like that, just with a couple of pitches. 3 pitches for Alexander this inning and 2 away. Here is his 80th pitch of the game. Just barely below the zone. Ball 1. He is facing Tyler Soderstrom, or should I say Soderstrike. Here's a pitch. Ooh, too low. Almost in the dirt. Ball 2. 2-0. Big John was at first last year, that's right. But, I mean, John Singleton is not a bad player, but he's not good either. He's very so-so. Dubon grabs that ball on the inside of second base. Nice backhand and fire over to first. Nice scoop by Walker. And that's out number 3. How do you like that? Jason Alexander with basically about 5 pitches in that inning. Amazing. I have to think that Alexander is going to be back out for a 7th inning. He has to be. He has to be, right? He has to be. He's got a shutout going through 6. They got to bring him back out for the 7th. They gotta. Espada, are you listening? Don't bring in some other fool in the 7th inning. If Alexander feels good, let him come back out. Caesar says no love for the Dodgers. Not at all. Forget the Dodgers. I don't like that organization at all. I think that when I was growing up, my brother has always been a big Dodgers fan, which is fine, whatever. But when I was growing up, back when they had people like Fernando Valenzuela, and then they had Tommy Lasorda, and they had Kirk Gibson. I loved Kirk Gibson. I thought he was a wonderful guy. Seeing him come out injured as a pinch hitter and win the game, man, and seeing him hobble to first base on that foul ball and then to hit it out of the park. I was there. I watched that live with my family, and I was happy for my brother at the time. But over the years, I realized that my brother was kind of representative of a lot of Dodgers fans. Very narcissistic. We were never in California. We were not from California. In every sport, when we were little, my brother just chose all of the most mainstream teams that you can possibly choose. So in football, he liked the Cowboys. In basketball, he liked the Lakers. And in baseball, he liked the Dodgers. Think about that. He was born in Louisiana, and so was I. But when we were babies, we moved to Houston. So we literally grew up in Houston our first 7 years of our life, basically. I was a Houston fan all around. But my brother chose all of these teams from other places that were supposedly the best franchise teams, the best America teams, right? Doobie is at the plate again. There's a new pitcher on the mound, T.J. McFarland. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Next pitch is on the way. Grounded to the third baseman. He fires it over, and he calls him safe at first base. Are you kidding me? Wow. Dubon first base. Wow. They don't challenge it. Wow, what a single for Dubon. 4 times on base for Dubon, and that brings up Hummel batting right-handed against the lefty McFarland. Is that right? McFarland? Yep. TJ McFarland. I need to change his name on the screen. TJ McFarland. Or as my dad would say, McFarland. Next pitch is in there, 78 miles an hour. Hummel over 2 today. He's performing like hummus, but not as tasty. He's probably more salty. Low and inside. Ball 1, 1 and 2. Dallas is a relic from the past. Dallas, who, yes, that's right, America's team, my butt. They haven't been America's team ever since Jerry Jones got them. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Even if you're a Cowboys fan, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody hates the Cowboys. Anybody who is not a narcissist hates the Cowboys. But maybe even the narcissists are having to be forced. They live the glory days. They relive the glory days. But 2-2 against Hummel. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul. Count remains 2-2. The narcissists that were Cowboys fans back when they were winning, they have nothing but that to hang on to. After that, the Cowboys just began to suck, which is great. Which is great, because I don't want Jerry Jones to win anything. Hummel hits it out to the left center field. It might be out of the park. It is. Holy cow, guys. 2-run shot by Cooper Hummel. 2-run homer by Cooper Hummel. 11-0. The Astros are destroying. Oh, they were already destroying the A's. But the Swiffer, the low Swiffer came in and was just launched into left center field by Cooper Hummel. No more hummus. Hummel with a Hummer. Wow. Jeremy Pena at the plate, taking that first pitch low for ball 1. Hey, there was Fromber. What's up, Fromber? See you tomorrow. 1-0. No outs. Bases clear for Pena. Wow, that one came out of McFarland's hand. Flew to the backstop directly. He looked really kind of out of it on that pitch. 2 balls and no strikes to the Flash. A fair weather fan. Bandwagon fan, right? Just pick the team that you think is the top franchise or the top legacy team, right? Just pick those teams. That's what my brother did. But he's a big part of the reason why I started disliking these teams, because a lot of their fans are like that. Swing and a miss by Pena. That's strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pena. Old Dog says, couldn't stand Steve Garvey, Davey Lopez, Ron Say, and Bill Russell. Yeah, I know. Some of those guys might have been good players, but, attitude matters to me. There's a pitch. Tapped at the plate, but foul. Do you guys remember Glenn Davis, the big bopper? Houston Astro? When I was growing up, he was my favorite player for several years, the big bopper. I mimicked his batting style because when he would be at the plate, he would wave his bat in front of the catcher's signs. So I would do that when I would play baseball. I started copying that. Here's the 2-2 to Pena. Ripped foul down the third baseline. The count remains 2-2. I had a collection of Glenn Davis cards. There's a shot of that. Look at that. And he does a bat flip. As soon as he hits it, he just drops the bat. He goes like, flip. The Swiffer. Tommy Likey. Pena. Can you believe that? As soon as he hit that, Pena threw the bat. He's very... I told you guys the top of the lineup is frustrated, and Pena just proved it. He grounded out, and as soon as he hit that ball, he just threw the bat. The Astros are winning 11-0, and Pena doesn't have a single hit. Paredes is at the plate, takes that first pitch low. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Glenn Davis, first base, ended up going to the Giants. Yeah, great first baseman. That is a strike. 1-1 on the sinker to Isaac Paredes. One ball, one strike, one out, nobody on. Paredes crushes it way up in the sky, but it's going to be playable. Center field, center fielder takes it. Out number 2. 2 away. Jose Altuve is out of the game. Cesar Salazar is in the game now for Altuve. Everyone except the vets are killing it. That's right, Tuck. That's absolutely right. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Hey, Salazar has an opposite field hit on the very first swing. How about that? Cesar Salazar, the lefty, getting an opposite field hit. So look at that. Pena has no hits. Salazar comes in for Altuve and gets a hit on his very first swing. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? Diaz comes to the plate. Man, you know that Pena is so frustrated right now. Altuve's out of the game. Salazar comes in for him and gets a hit on the very first pitch. Diaz hits it up the middle. Might be a play to first, and it is. A little high on the throw, but he's able to get it at first for out number 3. But hey, 2-run home run. Two-run home run tacks 2 more on the board for the Stros, courtesy of Mr. Hummel, the Astros' 9th batter in the lineup. Let's take a look at this right quick, guys. The hits today. Only 2 guys in the lineup don't have a hit, Altuve and Pena. Paredes has a single. Salazar pinch hitted for Altuve, and he has a single. Diaz has a hit. Walker has a hit. Myers has a hit. Cam Smith has 3 hits. Dubon has 3 hits. Hummel has a hit. 12 hits for the Astros. And in the top 3 batters, Paredes is the only one that has a hit. It's pretty interesting, right? RBIs. Paredes does have the 2 RBIs with the single, but other than that, all of the Astros runs, except for those 2, are from Walker down, from the 5th batter to the 9th batter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So from the 5th batter to the 9th batter, the Astros have scored 9 runs. With no help, really, from Pena and no help from Altuve. Now, Altuve has been putting the bat on the ball. I'll give him that. If you look at his performance today, he hasn't struck out once, but he has left 7 runners on base. So he's had opportunities to drive guys in, and he just didn't do it. All right, top of the 8th, man. What a game. What a game. Jason Alexander still on the mound? Yes, he is. He's facing Rooker. First pitch is right in there for strike 1. '84th pitch on the way to Rooker. Swing and a miss, low in the zone. 0-2. Good way to start the 7th, the bottom of the 7th. 84 pitches now for Alexander. There's a pitch. The Swiffer way outside. Tried to get him to chase, but it wasn't competitive enough. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 42 likes. Awesome, guys. I just noticed that we got over 40. That's probably going to be the maximum for today, but we'll see. Another pitch outside for ball 2. The count is even. Billy Duran. Hey, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, Tuck. Here's the next pitch. Low. After getting ahead in the count 0-2, the count is now full. Here comes the full count pitch. Right in there, fouled off. The changeup getting smacked foul by Rooker. Rooker with the hooker. Catfish Hunter Topps card. Catfish Hunter. Full count to Rooker on the way from Alexander. Too far inside. He walked him. Leadoff walk. That's just the third walk allowed. 89 pitches now for Alexander. A double play ball would be nice, but I have a feeling that if the pitch count goes up a little bit, if he walks another guy, or if they get a hit right here, maybe they'll come out and have a little chit-chat with him, and that will be it. We'll see. Next batter is Nick Kurtz. He hits that hard into right field. That's going to be a single. That's going to move the runner over to third. Smith brings it in after a cutoff. Too late, though. Double. Alexander, for the first time in a real jam. Oh, he did have a jam earlier in the game. No outs with runners on second and third. Yep, Caleb Ward is getting up in the bullpen to start warming up. Diaz comes out to the mound to give Alexander a little bit of a break. 8-0 Mariners over the Red Sox. Final score. Well, we got them beat 11-0. That's right. Yeah, old dog Alexander's ERA has dropped significantly, right? 12 hits for the Stros, only 2 hits given up by Alexander this game. Muncy is at the plate with 2 runners on, low and outside. Ball 1. No outs. Runners on second and third. Here comes the next pitch. That's up the middle. That's going to score a run. So much for the shutout. Kurtz held up at third. 11-1, so the Astros don't get the shutout. We got runners on first and third. So while Ort warms up in the bullpen, they're going to keep Alexander in the game. No outs, runners on the corners. Austin Wynns comes to the plate. Here comes the first pitch. That one's outside. The sinker missing. Ball 1. Alexander has pitched very well tonight, says Sergio, but I would really consider bringing in a reliever to preserve the shutout. Yeah, but I think they needed to give him a shot. It's not, to me, it's not about preserving the shutout. It's about pulling him out at the right time, you know, because we don't know the discussions that go on between the pitchers and the managers. And if the pitcher feels pretty good, he wants to go back out, and he's been doing good, especially in the last inning, you know, give him a shot. Ground ball to third base. Paredes goes to first. Way high, way high. Rare error on the part of Paredes. That's going to score another run. The Astros don't get an out from that. Runners remain on the corners. 11-2. Astros. A rare mistake by Paredes. Look at that. Way over the head of Walker. No way for him to even come close to catching that. But unfortunately, Alexander is not going to get a single out. They're going to go ahead and take him out and bring in Ort. He's a little upset about that. 6 innings, 6 full innings of shutout baseball for Mr. Jason Alexander. And unfortunately, because of the error of Paredes, he doesn't even get one out in the 7th. 2 runs scored so far, 11-2 with no outs. Runners remain on the corners for the A's. King Tuck says he did good, but he's done. They should put Abreu in to redeem himself. I wouldn't bring in Abreu. I think that's completely useless. I mean, you think about it. You got to think about the games tomorrow and the next day. It's like what I said earlier. You don't bring in your best guys when you're ahead by 10 runs or whatever. Right now they're ahead by 9. But if you're going to burn your best guys like Abreu, he's your number 1 8th inning guy. Why would you bring him in right now in the bottom of the 7th? If they were going to bring in one of their best guys right now, they would bring in Brian King because he's your 7th inning guy. But I don't even think I would bring in King. And right now they're bringing in Ort, and I'm okay with that. Bring in Ort. Yes, bring in Ort. And my guess is that we will see neither. We won't see King. I think we won't see King. We won't see Abreu, and we won't see Hader. We won't see any of those guys, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't see any of those guys because we need to keep those guys for a more important situation. A more important situation. You got to think about that. Old Dog says, "Uh-oh, I'd better leave and come back later. Stros started all this when I was away." Yeah, that's that superstitious thinking, right? Ort is on the mound, getting ready to pitch his first of the inning here in the 7th, facing Urias. That's in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He grounds that straight to the shortstop. Dubon fires it to Guillorme and over to Walker for a double play. There we go. Second pitch, double play, 2 away. Double play, 2 away. Dubon to Guillorme to Walker. Runner on third. Here's the next pitch. Up and outside. Ball 1 is the count to Denzel Clark. By the way, Jason Alexander qualifies for a quality start with his performance today, so that's good news. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 is the count. So Alexander will get the win today, but also a quality start. So good for you, Mr. Alexander. Good start with the Stros. Oh, no runners on. I'm sorry, no runners on. The runner at third scored. My bad. I missed that. They didn't even show it on screen. They didn't show it on screen, but it's 11-3. I thought the runner was at third, but they went for the double play and didn't even care about the runner that went home. So he's gone. 2 balls, 1 strike to Clark. Way high. 3 balls, 1 strike to Clark. It's funny they didn't even show that on the screen. They did not show the runner scoring at all, so I didn't even pay attention to that. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, the high fastball, 96 miles an hour. Good pitch by Ort. Right on the top of the zone. Full count. Wow. Can you believe that, guys? I just heard something really interesting about Alexander. This is hit out to Myers in center field, who grabs it for out number 3. Check this out, guys. I wanted to tell you what I just heard about Jason Alexander. And this is a quiz question for you guys. I'll let you take a guess before I tell you the answer, okay? When was Jason Alexander's last win in the MLB? Can you tell me that? Now, if you don't go looking it up, I'm interested to hear when you think it was. Don't go looking it up. If you give me the right answer, it's not because you know it. I know that you don't know that. Nobody here knows that. If you look it up and you give me the answer, I know it's because you looked it up. Because there's nobody here that knows the answer to that. Literally, nobody. Nobody knows. I didn't know. I just want you guys to guess. When was Jason Alexander's last win before today? $1985. 85. 1985. That was before he was born. That would be an amazing feat. His last win was before he was born. Sergio says 2023. I will say this. It was in August. I'm not going to tell you the year, but it was in August. So obviously it wasn't this year. It was at least last year. But which year is the question? Which year? In August of what year? Let's see who gets it first. That was my last bit of decent coffee right there. His senior prom. That's right. Walker is at the plate. The very first pitch, he hits it into left center field for a single. How about that? Leadoff base runner. Nice. Walker with another hit this game. Keep going, man. Stay hot. The year of the dragon. Well, which one? That's every 12 years. That could have been 2000, 2012, 2024. And if you're wondering how do I know that off the top of my head, it's because my daughter was born the year of the dragon, which is 2000, 2012, every 12 years, 2024. Easy to figure out for me. Jake Myers is at the plate with a runner on first. Swings at that high fastball. And that is an 0-2 count. Reminiscent of last year, Myers with the 0-2 count. Brendan says 2020. That's going way back. I'll tell you guys after Myers finishes his at-bat. Myers is hit on the foot. He's going to go to first base. Now we have runners on first and second here in the top of the 8th. 2 runners on, no outs. A hit and a hit by pitch. A couple of Astros have been hit this game. 3, I think. Pena, Hummel, and now Myers. Okay, next pitch. Cam Smith is at the plate. 3 for 4 today. Takes that first pitch high and outside for ball 1. The answer is 2022. Brendan, your first answer was incorrect, but your second answer is right. The answer is 2022. August 2022 was Jason Alexander's last win in the MLB. 3 years ago, almost. Almost 3 full years ago. 2 balls and no strikes to crank it up Cam with 2 runners on. Ooh, 93 in the lower outside part of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Would you guys like to see Cam have a 3 home run game and tack 3 more runs on the board? Make up for those runs the Astros lost? I almost hit him. Oh, Sean Newcomb. RBIs for Cam Smith. I was trying to put the pitcher's name in the screen there. I couldn't show you the preview. How about that? Double. Here's the preview, or the review, or highlight, rather. Opposite field, smack all the way to the wall in the corner. A little bit of trouble there for the right fielder. Cam Smith with 4 hits. 4 for 5 today. How do you like that? First pitch to Dubon is high and outside for ball 1. Wow. Astros up 12-3. Runners on second and third. Doobie with the 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. What in the world is going on with my highlight window? Why won't it disappear? There it goes. I don't want to get a copyright strike for that. That's a missed pitch. It's going to score a run. Myers scores easily. Cam moves over to third. Astros get the runs, some of the runs back, right? 13-3 now. Just a right off the glove. He was trying to frame it, and he missed the pitch. Yep, that's a passed ball. That's on the catcher. Here's the next pitch. Little high and outside. That's ball 4 to Dubon. 4-pitch walk to Dubon. How about that? Now we have runners on first and third. First and third. King Tuck, you got August right. Yes, that's right. That's right. You got August right. Missed it by that much. Missed it by that much. Cooper Hummel is back at the plate. He's got himself a nice home run today. His batting average is now no longer 0. It's 125. How about that? Right in there. The very first pitch to Hummel is a strike. Duke Nukem. Doob, Smith, Walker, Pena, everybody contribute. Pena is not contributing. What are you talking about? Doobie, Smith, Walker, yes. Pena? No. Pena has done absolutely nothing. I think you mistyped. This is grounded down the third baseline foul. There's that home run by Hummel earlier. Cooper Homer instead of Hummel. Cooper Homer. Fouls it off again. Stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pena has been hit by a pitch, and he walked. He doesn't have a single hit. He hasn't been productive today. Getting a walk and scoring compared to the rest of the team, I wouldn't consider that productive. Hummel's called out on strikes there. He strikes out looking. Guillorme is batting now. Pena is out. Now watch Guillorme get a hit, guys. You want to bet that Guillorme gets a hit? Pena doesn't have a single hit in this entire game. What do you want to bet that Guillorme comes in on the very first pitch and gets a hit? Just like Salazar did when he pinch hitted for Altuve. I want to see it. I'm going to laugh if he does it. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Oh, he takes it right down the middle for strike 1. Why didn't you swing, man? 0-1. But still, if he gets a hit, that's going to be amazing because Pena didn't get a single one. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He went golfing for that one. 0-2 is the count. Come on, Guillorme. Show Pena how it's done. Here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 1, 1-2. Let's see here. Tuck says, good night, fellas. Early day tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you, Tuck, for being here. Here comes a 1-2. Guillorme hits it opposite field, fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. Robski says, when does Jordan come back? How do you think it will change the lineup with everyone kind of stepping up? I think he'll go into the lineup wherever he wants or wherever the managers want him. It's a good problem to have, though, isn't it, Robski? If everybody else starts hitting, it's a really good problem to have. Here's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Guillorme. Sergio says Pena just found out that his fiancée is pregnant and he's going to be a father for the first time. Maybe that's why he can't hit the ball. Now it's up the middle. Oh, it's going to be a double play, easy double play. So Guillorme does get the bat on the ball, but he doesn't get a hit, unfortunately. So he doesn't show up Pena. Almost. He gave it the old college try. That's it for the 8th inning. Man, it feels like a really long game, doesn't it? It feels like a long game. It's fun to see the Astros scoring so many runs. But man, I feel kind of tired in a way. I need to get up and move around. I probably should do that. I'm gonna hop up right quick. Go put some more water on the boil. I'll be right back, guys. Go Stros. It is a nice, beautiful day outside. Woo! Lawrence Butler is at the plate, 0 for 3 today with a pop out. He has been so quiet today. It's been nice. Bennett Sousa is on the mound for the Stros. Line drive to right field. Cam Smith comes in and grabs it. Out number 1. Just 3 pitches for Sousa. In the top of the 9th, we have out number 1. 14 hits for the Stros today. Hey, look at that. Taqueria Randas. Thank you, Mr. Pena. Maybe that's why he can't hit the ball today. Too many tacos. Slow down, man. Next pitch on the way. Oh, nice nab by Sousa. Did you see that? Terrible throw to first, but Walker's able to pull it down. Sousa had plenty of time to make that throw. He made a great catch, had plenty of time, and then he made a terrible throw, but Walker's able to jump up there and grab it. Take a look at this. A good tapper. Easy tapper, but a good grab. Look at this. He goes blip. Oh, it got stuck in his glove. He had to pull it out of his glove. Okay. That was interesting. Yeah, the ball literally got stuck in his glove. He couldn't pull it out. That was funny. So that's why he made the terrible throw to first. He got kind of bothered about that. I forgot I still had runners on first base. 2 balls and no strike to Soderstrom. 2 outs. I'm sorry, this is the bottom of the 8th, guys. I don't know why I was saying the 9th inning. This is the bottom of the 8th. My bad. This is hit up the middle, but right to Dubon, who fires over to first. On target, 3 up and 3 down for Sousa. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Astros relievers getting it done today. Forgot to change the portrait there to Sousa. I'll do that now. So we have the proper picture on the screen. You guys should see how beautiful it is outside today. It's just really, really nice. I have some very wonderful, clean, clear, crisp well water here. It's wonderful. And I can just walk outside and fill up I have my water faucet outside right now, just temporarily. My sink and everything. My sink and my shower are outside right now, just next to the house. But it's private. In my backyard is just a small mountain, so nobody can see me. I can go out there, and I do have a bamboo curtain around my shower, so it is a little private. But I have the shower out there and my sink, and I go out there and I fill up my hot water kettle with crystal clear, nice cold well water. I bring it in, boil it, and then make myself some nice coffee or tea. And while I'm waiting on that, come back in here and sit down with you good people. Sergio says Jordan's going to shut out innings for the A's. Can you believe that? 6 innings pitched. I'm sorry, 6 batters gotten out. 2 complete innings pitched by McIver. His ERA is 0. Welcome to the MLB pitching rotation, Mr. McIver. Woo, man. Let's see here. Mark says, fell asleep after the 2nd inning, kept hearing another home run. I thought it was a dream. It kind of is a dream, isn't it? 15 hits for the Stros, 13 runs. It's crazy. Yeah, Sergio, you're right. It was a dream. The Astros have somewhat come back down to earth in the last 2 innings. Well, if you want to call it that, coming back down to the earth, they scored 2 and then 2. Is that coming back down to earth? I don't know. I think that's still a dream. The 3rd and the 6th are the only innings they didn't score runs. Caesar says, what time is it in Japan? Sergio is right. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon. Glue glove. Nice, Mark. D says, why the dude pitching throwing the ball so slow? Because he's a position player, D. He's not a real pitcher. He's just, he's one of the, I think he was DH the other day, maybe yesterday? I can't remember. He was in the game. He's not a pitcher. He's just basically lobbing the ball in there because they're at the point where they don't want to use any of their pitchers anymore. They don't want to burn their pitchers' arms. So they just bring in a position player to finish off the game. They've just basically given up on the game and they want to save their pitchers. Sergio says, I'm curious about Wes Clark's skills at catcher. Well, you know, it might not be bad to have another guy who can catch. We only have 2, really. D says, appreciate that, brother. No problem. No problem. Sousa is back on the mound for the Stros and the bottom of the 9th. He's going to try to close the game out for the Stros. We're 3 away from 50 likes. Almost got to 50. This one's hit way up in the air on the right side. It looks like Guillorme is going to backpedal and get it. Man, he almost fell down getting that ball. But gets it for out number 1. 2 more outs and this game will go in the books. I'm curious about whether or not I should go to the city today to get some water testing equipment. That's high and inside. Ball 1. Go Yankees and Stros. Well, I don't agree with that first part. Forget the Yankees. Opposite field foul ball. 1-1 is the count against Kurtz. 1 away, nobody on here in the bottom of the 9th. Sergio says, I hope that the dream performance will continue into tomorrow's game with Fromber at the plate. Oh, I mean Fromber at the rubber on the mound. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. A little low and outside. Do they call that a strike? Really? That was outside. Called a strike? Okay, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Kurtz. He calls a timeout, steps out of the box for a moment. Now he's back in there. Here's a pitch. This is hit up the middle. High in the air. Dubon is going to be out to take it. Not deep enough for the outfielders to come in. Kurtz is out. Go sit down, Mr. Kurtz. 2 outs. Nobody on here in the 9th. 1 out away from this game. Going in the books is a big win for the Stros. Kind of disappointed that they gave up 3 runs in the 7th. But I'm very happy with the first performance of Alexander, really, and the hitting of the Astros, especially the young guys. First pitch to not Nick Kurtz, Gio Urshela, pinch hitter, is a ball. 1-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Landon says Aaron Judge better than Jose Altuve. It depends on what you mean. What are you talking about? Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 is the count. Altuve is a better person than Aaron Judge. He's a better sportsman and a much more wonderful story. And look at their size. Look at the size difference. This is hit out to left center field all the way to the wall. It's going to be off the wall. A double, 2 for 2. After getting activated recently by the A's, this guy is turning into something good for the A's, it looks like. 2 out base runner in the 9th inning. But Landon, if you're going to come in here and talk trash about Altuve, then you are just going to get completely banned. You're hidden on this channel. Nobody can see you anymore. Bye-bye. I don't care who you are. Nobody talks trash about Jose Altuve in this channel. Fouled off. The bat boy grabs it. Landon Holder is gone, guys. Nobody can see his messages. So, Landon, if you're there and you're typing, trust me, nobody can see your messages. All your messages have been deleted, and you'll no longer be able to comment on this channel at all. Next pitch is on the outside edge. Strike 2. That looked like it was out of the zone. One strike away from ending this game. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1. Kind of scoots away from Diaz, but he keeps it in front of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, Sergio, Fromber on the mound. That's what I thought you meant. Either on the mound or on the rubber. I'd absolutely love to see the Astros continue. I want to see 30 runs scored by the Astros in these next 3 games. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Yiner's going to have to throw it to first to get him, but he does easily. Strikeout for Sousa to end the game. And that's it. The Astros put another win in the books. Maintaining the 4.5 game lead over the Mariners and the 5.5 game lead over the Rangers. Sergio says, Landon Holder, your Stankies have had 3 shutout losses in the last 3 days. Yes, that's right. Screw the Yankees. Now, what I don't understand about Landon when he came in, his very first comment was go Astros and go Yankees. Now think about that. A guy who says go Astros and go Yankees. Now, if you like the Astros and the Yankees, okay, fine. It's very rare for anybody to really like the Astros and the Yankees. But he proved the point that he doesn't really like the Astros at all when he comes right back in attacking Altuve and comparing him to Judge. So that tells me that he doesn't like the Astros at all. He's just pretending, and his real self came out. Because all I said was forget the Yankees. I mean, this is an Astros channel. I don't have to give any love to any team. Now, I will respect other teams and the teams that other people like, but I think I speak for basically every Astro fan when I say forget the Yankees. I don't want the Yankees to win. If the Yankees are playing the Mariners and we need the Mariners to lose, of course I want the Yankees to win. But the Yankees are also an AL leader, and we want to be better than the Yankees, right? We want the Yankees to lose. Why would an Astros fan want the Yankees to win? Why would an Astros fan ever say go Yankees? It doesn't make any sense. Coco says, H-Town stand-up, go Texans and Stros. Yeah, for sure. I don't watch NFL anymore, but I wish the Texans nothing but the best. Same thing with the Rockets. Don't watch NBA anymore, but I wish them nothing but the best. I don't care about college or professional basketball at all. I like college football. That's why I wear the LSU stuff. But NFL to me is like WWE or something like that. Aaron Judge himself wouldn't even make that claim. I don't think Aaron Judge is a bad guy, but look how big he is. He's a monster. How can you compare Altuve to Judge? There's no comparison there. If you took all of Altuve's skill and ability and work ethic and you put it into the body of somebody like Aaron Judge, he would be better than Aaron Judge. And that's a fact. Coco says, I'm a Cougars fan. Good. Houston Cougars. Good. I didn't get into college ball when I was growing up, so I never got into the Cougars or any of the college teams. But because all through middle school and high school and as a young adult, I lived in Louisiana during that whole time. So over time, I became a fan of the LSU Tigers football team. But I was a Houston Oilers fan, and that was always my number one team, my number one sport, my number one team. After that, it was the Stros. And then after that, the Rockets. The Rockets finally got me some championships, and that was awesome. The Stros kept breaking my heart for the longest time. And their first World Series was great, but because of the cheating stuff, it really marred that a lot. So when they got their last championship, that one really redeemed them. And I was so happy to see Altuve there for all of that. It made me really, really happy. But I just stopped caring about NBA because the fouls and the traveling and the double dribble and the foot pivot and all that stuff, it's so arbitrary with the referees. I can't stand watching that game anymore. Good night, Caesar. Thank you for being here. I live in Houston. That's why I support everything Texas. Yeah, I understand. But does that mean you also support the Cowboys? I hope not. Or the Rangers? I hope not. But yeah, I lived in Houston as a child from the time I was a baby until about 7 years old, and that just really put the Houston teams into my heart, and so I've always been a Houston fan. But I can't stand the New Orleans Saints. I was always an Oilers fan, so I couldn't even begin to think about supporting the Saints. Even to this day, I can't stand the Saints. I just want them to lose. But because the Oilers don't exist anymore, I just don't care about NFL at all. Not at all. If the Texans are winning and they go to the Super Bowl, I wish them the best, and I hope they win. But I really just I can't be bothered to care anymore. That part of my life was killed. So unless the Texans become the Oilers again, if they sell the name back to them and they take it and they become the Oilers, then I will care again. But otherwise, I just can't be made to care. I want to give you guys a quick review of this game today as usual, so we can take a look. Let's take a look at the results of today's game. The loss goes to J.P. Sears, who gave up 5 earned runs in 3.1 innings. Jason Alexander gets the win. He's 1-0 this year. He hasn't won a game since August of 2022, guys, in almost 3 years. It's taken him to get another win in the MLB. Good for him. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 earned runs, and 6 innings pitched. Good job. Quality start. Now, big scoring summary right here. Let's go through it real quick. Top of the first, Myers singles, scores Paredes, scores Pena, 2-0. Top of the second, Cam Smith homers to center field, 3-0. Top of the fourth, Cam Smith homers again to left center, 4-0. Dubon comes up right after that. Next pitch, homers, 5-0 Astros. Top of the fifth, Walker homers to left center, scores Diaz, 7-0 Astros. Top of the fifth again, Paredes singles to left, scores Dubon and Smith, 9-0 Astros. Top of the seventh, Hummel homers to left center, scores Dubon, 11-0 Astros. It's just a homer fest today. Bottom of the seventh, the A's finally get on the board. Urshela singles to center, scores Rooker, 11-1. Bottom of the seventh again, wins safe on a throwing error by Paredes. Very rare error on behalf of Paredes, 11-2. Urias grounds into a double play. Urshela scores 11-3. Those are the only 3 runs that the A's would get, all in the 7th inning. Top of the 8th, Cam Smith doubles to right, scores Walker, 12-3. Big day for Cam Smith, really cranking it up today. Crank it up, Cam. Top of the 8th, Myers scores on a passed ball by Wins, 13-3, and that's where the score would wind up today, guys. Where's it at? Let me move the screen down so you can see it. Boom. 13-3. Big win for the Astros today. 42-31 is the record. Our away record is not stellar. We're still under 500 for our away games, but we are improving. 15-18 right now. Looking forward to the Astros winning the next two games against the A's, so we can move that up to 17-18. We're almost there. We can get to 500. We can do it, and then we can pass it up. 42-31. Let's take a quick look at tomorrow's game and then the standings. What in the world is going on? My screen is going crazy here. All right, let's go backwards. Here's the schedule. Tomorrow's game. Right there. Same time tomorrow. Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Stros. As you see right here, Framber Valdez is going to be facing Luis Severino. Severino is 2-6, not having a really great year. As you see right here, his ERA is 4.47. 90 innings pitched, almost identical to Framber. So 90.2 versus 90. He's given up 89 hits, 20 more, basically, than Framber. His strikeouts are about 35 less than Framber. His walks are just 1 more than Framber. And his home runs are the same. So Severino is getting fewer strikeouts and giving up a lot more hits. Astros have a good chance to go into launch mode again. And this is a right-handed pitcher, so I think the Astros can destroy this guy again tomorrow. We can get 10 or 13 more runs tomorrow, Astros are predicted on this matchup predictor 65.1% to win this game. Let's do it. Let's do it. And the only other thing here is to take a look at the standings. The Astros 42-31. Take a quick look at the standings here. Yeah, it's updated. Yep, right here. You see it right here on the screen? Okay. Astros are 42-31. 575 winning percentage. 4.5 games ahead of the Mariners. Now 6 games ahead of the Rangers. I believe the Rangers lost today, so that's nice. 6.5 games ahead of the Angels, and 13 now ahead of the A's. Pretty nice. Cruising along. The Yankees are 42-30. Astros 42-31. We are right there, guys. Right there with the Yankees. Just a breath away from taking charge of that second position in the American League. Still quite a bit behind the Tigers, but no big deal. No big deal. We'll get there. We'll get there. Our run differential, I don't know if you can see that on the screen. Let me move that over. There we go. Right here. Let me move it up. There it is. This is the Astros run differential right here. Plus 47. Once upon a time, that was negative. It has been just steadily going up, 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 up. So that's good. The Yankees, despite having a plus 98 run differential, are just a half a game ahead of the Stros. Yeah, forget the Yankees. Anyway, I am almost at 500, guys. We don't have too much more to go. Let me load up my screen here right quick just to see. And go to my home channel. Here it says I am at how many subs? 438? Are you kidding me? Did it go up that much? Let me refresh it. 438. That's awesome. Right here. You can see it right there. 438 subscribers. 62 away. Awesome. 62 more subs and I'll be at 400. And that's my goal by the end of the month. I really, really want to get to that. And it's up to you guys to help me to get there. Thank you so much. And let me try to move this around so it's positioned a little more on the screen, a little nicer. There we go. That's better. Now, one more thing I need to do is take a look at the live chat so I can say thank you to you guys before I'm out of here. Let me move that off the screen. There we go. That's better. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you, Sergio, as always, for all your help. Caesar says, I respect and admire your character. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's meaningful to me. I appreciate you saying that. And Coco says, I'm sorry, Caesar says, good night, Stros. Good night to you. Sergio says, way to go, Coco. Go Cougs. That's right. Coco says, I can't stand the Rangers. And Cowboys F them. Yeah, I thought so. I had a feeling. I don't know how we lost yesterday. I mean, we must have been tired. Yeah, it was just an off day. Yeah, Sergio mentions the likes on the channel. We got to 49. We were knocking at the door of 50. If we manage to get one more like, that'll be awesome. We'll be at 50 for the day, and that's amazing. That's really amazing. That would be really cool. But either way, I'm happy about getting the extra subs today. That's really, really big for me. BB says, who dat Saint? Go Astros, because I live in New Orleans. We don't got no baseball team. Yeah, I living in Louisiana for so long, I heard who dat all the time. But nobody there could understand why I couldn't accept the Saints. And they just didn't understand. I mean, I was a guy who grew up being an Oilers fan. And even though the Oilers left, there's just no way I could go from not being able to stand the Saints to being a who dat guy. I just couldn't do that. because the Oilers are in my heart forever. And if they don't exist, then the NFL doesn't exist to me. That's how much I care about the Oilers. They were a big part of my childhood. So I will never let that go. Mark says, thanks for the chat. Good stream. Absolutely. It's because you guys make it a good stream. And BB says we'll smoke their butts. I got 10-2 Astros and Go Saints. I can respect it. I don't have any dog in the race in the NFL, so if you're happy with the Saints' performance, then I'm happy for you. But if you say go Yankees, I'll say get out of here. Thanks for joining the live chat. Thank you, Sergio. I'll see you tomorrow. You have a great day, too. Oh, yeah, we did hit 50 likes. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Great day. All the extra subs, the extra likes. That's freaking awesome. And the big win by the Astros, it was a great day all around. Tiny says, go Brewers. Yeah, well, okay. If you like the Brewers, I don't have anything against the Brewers unless they play the Astros. If they happen to play the Astros, then forget them. But if they're playing a non-division rival or a non-American League rival to the Astros, then I wish you luck. Thanks you for the homer. Whoever hit that, whoever hit that 50th like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But that's it. We finally got everything covered, and we're done. Long live stream today, but it was a great game, great stream all around, great people. Go Packers, go. Go Oilers. But that's it. As always, thank you so much. And the last thing I say, as usual, is Geaux Stros. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Game 3. Bye-bye.